New location? What's this? Anyway, trying to sound cool, and I bet you they don't even say that anymore. Anyway, different location. I'm still in my house. This is the other sewing area that is much more calming, and I love the color scheme here, and it is an absolute disaster, but I don't care. You know, it's organized chaos. Anyway, last year in a video, I mentioned that a neighbor gifted me a semi-industrial sewing machine and that I would be having her make her debut in the near future. Well, who knew that the near future is actually over a year later? But in this case, it is. I will give a grand tour soon, not in this video. I just want to get reacquainted with her. I haven't sewn on her. I think I sewed on her once earlier this year, and she gave me attitude. Like, I don't know what she's doing. She just stopped sewing and then made a huge loud, like a dryer when it's over and it beeps, that beep, it did something like that. So it kind of like took me by surprise. So yesterday I dusted her off and gave her a new oil job, and I sewed a couple of just basic zipper pouches on it, just cute little coin purse zipper pouches. And so I thought I would just hop on here and do a few today. I went and dug through my old quilt cotton, not old, but it's from last year and the year before for making bucket hats. I kept all my remnants. And lo and behold, I had enough to make these cute little coin purses. Haven't made any yet. I'd made a couple yesterday, but see that fabric for the exterior, and a black zipper is going to go with it. And then I got a yellow, bright yellow zipper because we got bees. Those are cute. And then we got a pretty Barbie pink zipper because it's baby Disney princesses. They're toddlers. They are so adorable. And then it's just kind of, yeah, this is a scrap project. I got my beautiful favorite color, purple zipper. And then depending, I mean, I don't know which one will be the front and back. They're not going to be any different. It's just the way the zipper would open. But I've got this black background with multicolored polka dots. And, oh, and the other exterior panel is the same as the other one. And then the lining. So I've already somewhat prepped the zippers. I still need to sew the zipper tabs on and then assemble and get started. Let's have fun. Okay, just trying to get situated here in a new setup. The one bonus to this machine, her name is Carol, is that her presser feet are interchangeable with Fiona, the industrial machine, the singer, in the other room. So that's pretty cool. She does have a walking foot. It is one of these big clunky walking feet. I won't be using it today. I haven't used it for bag making yet. It's much more heavyweight and substantial than the Brother walking foot. Sorry if this is really loud. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. Or not. Where are you? Sorry, I should have been more prepared for this. Anywho. Yeah, where are you? Anyway, it's much lighter and probably not as robust as that one. Sorry, I'm still looking. You know, I'm the kind of person that when you find, or when something's missing, you keep looking. So I have gray thread in the top and the bobbin. I gotta get rid of this thread that I used to wind up the bobbin. Don't know if it would get all hung up, but I just don't need any strikes against me. So I think I'm going to go with bees right now. So there's no real pattern for this. I just found these scraps and, oops, I gotta do the zipper tabs first. I found these scraps, I just thought, you know, the first thought was all these number 3 zippers. I have hundreds of them and need to go through them. So I do go slow over zippers and stuff. I've used her a lot late last year and once, maybe twice earlier this year, and I was making hats on her. And it doesn't matter, like any machine basically can, I'm going to sew the tabs on all my zippers right now. Any machine can basically sew anything for the most part. Like out of the things I make, hats, bags, and pouches, and is that it? I think that's it. The domestic could do all of them. Truth be told, it's just you got to pick your fabrics accordingly, or appropriately. That's more the word. Yeah, so keeping my colors together here. I miss having a magnet up there to just slap my scissors up there. One extra convenience of the industrial being magnetic. Steel, metal, I don't know. I mean, it's metal of some sort. Love this, that it has a knee lifter like the industrial, but not like the domestic. So this isn't really going to be much of a tutorial. It's just going to be a sew along with me if you want. I might talk about what to do. Maybe I will. The zipper tabs are a 1 by 1.25 inch square. And I folded them in half, unfolded it, and then folded opposite raw ends towards that fold line to create like a bun or a taco shell, if you will, where the zipper sits in the middle of that. You gotta encase all of your raw edges. And using number 3 zippers, yes, the 1.25 inches is too wide. So we're just gonna, do I have one more zipper to do? I should. Anyway, just gonna trim them down to be the same width. 2, 3, where's the other one? Oh, right there. Nope, I've done them all. And the raw edges on the sides here will be in the seam allowance, so it doesn't matter. Just trimming them up. I think the lighting is a lot better in this room. If you could leave a comment down below and let me know, that'd be great. We don't have the same lighting in the other room. But maybe it's hot dang time we do. You never know. Anywho, I guess it wouldn't overly matter if I mixed up these zippers with the whatever pouch they're going to go on, but I'd like to keep it normal. Anyway, so I'm going to use my bees, and the fabric is interfaced with lightweight interfacing, and I just used scraps and I overlapped them, ironed them on, and then to really seal in the deal, I put them on my heat press for 15 seconds at 330 degrees. I'm just going to cut little V in the tops to mark my centers, not in my zipper, but I am going to fold it and make a little mark with a pen. These zippers are so tiny. Like the 2 pouches I made yesterday were not this small, so this could be interesting. But because this isn't live, you'll never know. This is not a sewing pen of any kind. It is a Bic Key Lime, a Bic Permanent. Kind of maybe their version of the Sharpie. That's what I had laying around yesterday, so that's what I grabbed. And it's not the greatest because it's really bleeding there, but I think I got it. So I'm just gonna have my exterior fabric right side up. my zipper right side down. And that is so tiny. Centered and clipped on there. I did cheat on the second one I made yesterday and grabbed the double-sided tape. I do have double-sided tape that is a lot wimpier than the stuff that you get from Wawak, but I couldn't find it yesterday, so I just used the heavy-duty stuff. Whoop. Oh my goodness. Disorganized. I'm just gonna remove the middle clip here. I hope you can see. If you can't, I guess I'm not airing this, or uploading, I guess is what it's called. Just lining up the centers, the middle clip there. I'll move my zipper pull out of the way. I just pushed it downward, but kept the zipper fully closed for now. I like the zipper to be whole while I'm clipping, and then we move the zipper pull out of the way. The teeny tiny zipper. I don't know if this is, oh, I like to change out my foot too, but maybe I won't. I like to, I hope that these fit debit cards or credit, whatever. I'm not optimistic though, because I took measurements and stuff, and gotta lift up the presser foot and move the zipper pull back to the starting point. Make sure all our fabric is out of the way. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so anyway, I measured my debit card and then took that into account when I was cutting my fabric. But when I found all this fabric, it was like, I just don't have the right size. So some of them I do. I prepped a lot of fabric today, but not fully. I cut a lot of fabric, let's put it that way. So now I'm just going to fold them right sides out, finger press. This is cotton, so I could totally take it to the iron, but this is just a teeny tiny little pouch, and I think I got it. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Oh, right. Another little tip and trick that I had forgotten about pouches. When you top stitch, leave your lining out of it. Push your seams down, both seams, lining and exterior, but leave the entire lining panel out of the equation. It actually makes it so that your tab, either side of the zipper of the pouch looks much better. I guess I better get that pull out of the way. I'm not changing my stitch length at all. It's at a 4. That might be a bit big for just quilt cotton, but again, it is just a little coin purse or debit card holder. If it will do that, I don't think it will, but you never know. I think I might box the corners too, I'm not sure. Maybe. Boxed corners are so adorable, especially, I mean, they're cute and they're purposeful, but they're really, really cute on a small little pouch. And again, I'm going to mark my center, and I should have done that all before I got on here. This one's thick with the interfacing because of the scraps. I just overlapped them all. I just thought I would take a chance, and it feels okay. I was going to do it to just the lining pieces so that it wouldn't matter if it looked like a fold line was in there, if that makes sense. But I decided to do the exteriors, and I think they're okay. They weren't okay until I ran them through the heat press. Maybe I should say that. My iron is just your basic Black & Decker. I do have a heavy duty iron, but I ironed a ton of interfacing with it a couple years ago. Bought that stuff to clean it, and it is so toxic I can't even use it. $140 iron. Luckily, I got it on sale. Okay, what's going on here? Just trying to, actually, if I do up the zipper all the way, there we go. That's better. Yeah, I was a little down in the dumps about that bag I made, the Blossom. Oh my gosh, I just, still reeling, but moving on. That's what made me come on here yesterday onto this machine, not YouTube, but to come onto this machine and just get reacquainted with her. And yeah, she's a Pfaff, hang on, a Pfaff Grand Quilter Hobby 1200. Kind of whatever that means. I mean, I know it's the name of it and everything, but it's kind of like, they all sound like cars. The Brothers CS 7000X. Seats 5 has so much room. Anyway. Next scene. If you're just starting out sewing and you want more detail about making pouches, I've got a ton of scraps. And I'd be totally willing to jump back on here and even do a live and go over each step way more thoroughly than I am. Is that the thread being dragged with it? I hope not. It is. Dang. Oh well. Always make sure your threads are between your toes of your presser feet. I love this knee lifter, but it's not in a great spot for me. I don't know if my legs aren't long enough or what. Anyway. Again, the lining is over to my left. And the seam is to my right. Finger press. Oh, this is so cute. And I want to go the other way. Does it matter? Probably not. But for my brain, yep, sure does. Yeah, when I first started sewing pouches, number 3 zippers were, you know, so cheap. And, you know, you get 120 of them for $25 on Amazon. And it's like, woohoo, I'm set. The color selection isn't wonderful. And what's the other thing about them? They're number 3. So I was making toiletry bags and using number 3 zippers and not really selling any because I quickly realized that, no, people want the number 5 zippers because they're nice and chunky. And they generally, in my opinion, they generally operate a bit smoother. You know what? I'm going to do this off camera, but I am going to box my corners. I will decide probably a 1/2 inch. Oh my gosh, it's just going to be so small. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I have boxed the corners at a 1/2 inch each. And it is time. No, it's not. I was going to say it's time for assembly. Nope, not yet. I want to attach a little swivel clasp. I have got a surplus of this black 1/2 inch webbing that I'll never burn through unless I start using it, even if it doesn't, I mean, it matches this. The Little Mermaid or the Disney Princess ones, that's a little questionable. I'm almost thinking I want to change out my foot so I can get closer. Nah, that's good enough. It's just a pouch. It's fine. Should have been black thread, but again, the theme of today's video is it's okay, it's fine. So I'm going to leave a little overhang. You want to clip it. Generally speaking, you want something like a swivel clasp or a D-ring You want it on the side where the zipper starts to open or fully closes. And, you know, wherever you see fit is fine. I'm going to do it, you know, maybe 1/2 inch down from the top stitching. You want to make sure that you have enough room between the metal of your D-ring or swivel clasp to do your seam allowance. I allowed for a 1 centimeter seam allowance, 3/8 of an inch. So, and when you box corners, when you have this completely straight, it is going to be a little bit wonky, and I can't remember which way it's wonky, but this is such a small boxed corner that I'm really not going to worry about it. So I'm going to overhang it by, oh, about that much. And I'm just going to put a clip there to hold it, and I'm going to baste it in place. Just about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, just along the edge. Making sure the lining is not in the way. Oh, that was loud, I'm sorry. More thread. And now we are going to clip them all together. We're just lining everything up, making sure everything is centered. And when you get to the sides here, generally speaking, most people push the zipper aiming towards the lining. Some put it up, but most put it down, just so you know. Just putting a clip there. And then, oh, make sure your swivel clasp or whatever you're using, if anything, is down in your work or in the exterior of the pouch in this case. Don't really need this many clips, but I am a clip queen. I'm not used to fabric fraying so much like this. Now, this is something I do when I make 1,000,000 bucket hats a year, which is a gross exaggeration. That little light in the sewing machine is hot. I'm telling myself that as much as I'm telling you. I hate the color red, makes me see red. So when you buy a variety of clips, guess what? You get some red ones, and I don't like them. But I thought, well, you know, they are useful. So I use them as to mark an area for caution or pay attention here. So when I need to leave a turning hole, and this is for the bucket hats, when I leave a turning hole for the bucket hats, I use 2 red clips. And that reminds me of where I'm going to start, and then tells me when I get to the second red one, I have to stop. Oh, yes, and at this point, you definitely want to make sure your zipper is open. And my zipper is not. So, yeah. Yay, I remembered! Before it was too late. Almost too late, because guess what? We're almost done. Okay. Don't make me unclip everything. Come on. There we go. And again, get your swivel clasp tucked in there nice and neat. You want to line up, I don't think I said this part, but on the sides you want to line up your exterior fabrics there to make it all match up once you're done. And here we go. I'm gonna do a bit of a bigger seam allowance on the lining so that it fits better inside the pouch. And we start at this end here, and 1 centimeter seam allowance. Yeah, I'm just gonna go over just a little bit. It's such a small pouch, it almost doesn't matter. And back stitch for sure and go right to the end. And because this is such a these corners aren't even going to box. That's just yeah, who knows about that, but we'll see. I've never made boxed corners that small. So we'll see how it goes. And you bypass the boxed corners, you leave them open, even though that's pretty much closed. Yeah, that's kind of weird. And then when you get closer to the top, you are going to want to go back to your exterior seam allowance, which in this case is 1 centimeter. Now this is where I should have maybe sort of kind of changed out my presser foot, because I'm not getting my desired seam allowance on the edges here. Don't have to use a Teflon foot because there's no vinyl involved. So I'm just going to go back a little ways here, line up with the existing seam that's already there. And we're going to get right close there. Yay! Yeah, this is kind of silly to have these box corners, but they might work out. Maybe I won't box the rest. I'm glad I didn't cut them all I was going to. And I'm glad I didn't. And I know I can leave the thread attached to it, but this is such a small thing that I'm just really not 100% sure how it's going to turn out. Hopefully adorable. The other one I boxed. I made one that I did not box, and the other one that I did box, it was a little bit bigger than this one. It was 5.5 inches across. This one's only 5, I think. Now I'm making the seam allowance a little bit bigger again so that the lining fits in better. Yeah, doing an inch box corner on such a tiny pouch, it's cute, but it's a little excessive. Just so you know. Now I took off that red clip so I know that this is the last of it, and to leave a turning hole. And let's see, let's cut all our threads here. What else we got going on here? Okay, now it's time to, box the corners. I don't know, man. I mean, look at that. It's so silly. But I'm committed now. You can either butterfly your stitch or seams, or just nest them going in opposite directions, which is what I opted for. It's possible that the exterior fabric will be nested or butterflied. I'm not even too worried about it lining up all pretty or anything. Like, let's just let's just be real here. If you do that's not butterfly. If you do nest them, make sure you go in the same direction as you did on the bottom, so that you don't end up with this lump in your lining of your bag when you're digging around for coins or something, chapstick or whatever. Then, you know, you're gonna feel that lump and it's gonna make you sad. No lumpies. Okay. This, because these are thick, because they're interfaced, I will butterfly them out. Look how small that is. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Okay, maybe coin purses will not be boxed corners, but it's so cute. We'll see. And, you know, sometimes you end up running 2 seams along the bottom to, you know, give it extra stability, but I really don't think that's necessary in this case. And I don't think, I'm just going to go with it, I don't think I was at the 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance on the bottom part, but we'll see. Butterfly the seams. Squish. Very easy to squish, and it's going to be such an easy project to turn out. If anyone out there knows if this machine and can tell me, because I have a feeling, I've never seen one of the machines I'm about to mention, but I think this machine might be comparable to a Janome HD9. If you happen to know that, drop a comment, let me know. I'm very curious. So I think I've boxed all the corners. Yeah, I'm not even going to trim. That is a small little birthing hole. I'm not even going to trim seam allowances or anything because, you know, it's just this teeny tiny little pouch. And yeah, I said it wasn't going to be any issue, but tis a little tiny there. Let's just see. Okay, come on. I might have to seam rip a little bit because this is too small. Shouldn't be though. I'm going to keep it. Here we go. Making some leeway. Open the zipper all the way, if you can. There we go. Put your fingers through the lining as much as you can to push out your corners. Oh, that's so cute. I guess it kind of works. I mean, I guess instead of cutting them, you can just measure, make a mark, and line it all up. Aw, that's so cute. And then on the side where the zipper opens to, where the zipper tab is, I found that if I went in with my screwdriver and just twisted it a little bit, it gave it a nice crisp look. This is really cute, but it's still too tall. Like I like the, oh, it's so cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. This was a fat quarter from Walmart many years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago. This one. The other ones are bucket hat fabric, and they were just a year or two ago. It was faded like that, and I don't know if it was supposed to be, but yeah, that's why I didn't use it. I could have gotten a small bucket hat out of it, the one side of it. That's why it never became a bucket hat. How many times can you say bucket hat? I'm not gonna do it. So now that we are almost finished, it is time to adjust everything, make sure everything's poked out the way it should be, tuck in the lining pieces, and stitch it closed, as close to the edge as you can. Again, it's just a coin purse. It matters who it's going to, but... And if you're particularly picky, or if you're extra particular, I guess I could have said, you could swap out your thread to match better, but this gray matches this taupey beige pretty well. So, I'm totally okay with it. So this one is 4.5 inches across. I had two that were 4.5, nope, 5 inches across before sewing. And two of them are 5.5. So the 5.5 is going to look much different. And there's a little bit of bulk right here. So you could take a rubber mallet and bash it a little bit if you wanted. I forgot to trim that down. Oh well. Trim it down a little bit, but it's fine. Just a little bit bulky in there. Take a lighter to that later. I don't have my key fob. That's the other thing you can do. You can take your key fob, pliers, and squish, or just a regular set of pliers. And I don't have any of that in this room. It's all in the other sewing area. So I can touch that up later. But here's coin purse number 1. I just need to use up what I got. So there you have it. And I'm going to make a 4.5, or this is a 4.5 inch. No, this is a 5. I need a 5.5 inch one. Well, there you have it. Not really a tutorial and not a long video at all. I didn't film the other 3. I did this one. Isn't that cute? You better believe it. I'll see myself out. Yeah, kidding. I mean, I should, but I'm not gonna. So there was that one, and then I did this one. This is the hodgepodge one, and I put these little pull cord things on just to jazz it up a little bit. So this is the one that has the polka dots on the front and the abstract whatever on the back. And then I did, this is the cutest one. Isn't she so cute? I love this size. Now, a debit card does fit into the B one, and it should fit into the second one I showed you. I didn't try that. Oh well. This one won't. That is pretty much a guarantee. The debit card's kind of, it's not an easy to get it out and all that. This one, on the other hand, I decided to try and sort of kind of round the corners, and it didn't go overly round. And it's a tiny bit crooked and stuff, so this one might be mine. But, yeah, I love this fabric. It's the last of it. I wish I had had a gray, I think a gray zipper would have looked better, but it ties in with this. Pretty perfect, if you ask me. So, this is my least favorite. This is the cutest. Let's have them both all the same way. Least favorite, cutest size, but most useless size for an adult anyway. And then I really like this one, but I wish it was the same on both sides, but I didn't have enough. And then this one's pretty cute. And there you go. Just a simple zipper pouch. If you want any more information on this, I can leave a comment and I'll reply with the dimensions of the fabric and zippers and any other information you want to know. Thanks for watching. I'm RJ of RJB Crafted. Take care. Have a great night. or day or whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.